Welcome to the Lockdown Economy, a series of interviews by the think tank AlterContacts, where the real entrepreneurs share their insights. My name is Yulia Skupchenko, and today my guest is María Lucía Bermúdez Oviedo, the co-founder of the company 7 Days to Go and the movement Here to Start. Hello, María.
Hello, Julia. How are you?
I'm well. How are you? Where are you calling from?
I'm in Bogota, Colombia at the moment, just waking up to a beautiful sunshine.
Well, that's excellent to hear. And what brings you to Colombia? I guess maybe you can tell a bit about your business and why did you choose such an interesting location?
Okay, first of all, I'm from Bogota, Colombia, and I have been living in the Netherlands for over 9 years. And originally, I just came to study, but I already had an existing marketing agency in Colombia. So I thought, okay, why not expanding my business and finding some clients in Europe? So with that intention, I started growing, but I quickly realized that a lot of international entrepreneurs and businesses, they need to basically have access to a lot of expertise. So I went from marketing agency to an expert pool of now more than 50 experts around the globe on you name it, with the concept of providing like this one-stop shop service to help entrepreneurs in a really more like 360 degrees way, you know, to make sure that everything is successful. So that's how 7 Days to Go started.
So that's the business part. And what kind of entrepreneurs do you work with? Basically, what size?
Normally starting entrepreneurs, people who are in idea phase or people who are ready to scale or they are wondering what is their next step in business. And that's not only for people located in the Netherlands, but also internationals that are looking to expand their business in Europe now or in Latin America. So I really serve as a business bridge for both communities. And that's also linked to the reason why I started Here to Start, apart from 7 Days to Go, because it's really for international entrepreneurs, you know, with the experts. We serve every type of entrepreneur, but we know as internationals that we have an extra struggle to the whole thing about getting your business started. So that's why we started a whole movement around supporting each other as a community.
So Here to Start is more of a community that is based in the Netherlands and that is focused on the international business enthusiasts that come here and want to make it happen, right?
Well, the Netherlands is just the beginning. For us, it's our pilot project. We launched last year in June. It was a complete success. And we did it offline, you know, with a regular event, gathering the key players within the Dutch startup ecosystem and also the internationals that are in the Netherlands. Well, the Netherlands is quite international, especially in Amsterdam. So that's what we did. But we saw that there's an opportunity to replicate this everywhere where there's an active entrepreneurial community. So that's the whole intention about Here to Start, you know, to plant the seed and to be there for everybody who's starting a business away from home.
So basically you are an entrepreneur yourself and you have a business that helps entrepreneurs as a service. And also you have a community that serves sort of the same function. Well, somewhat the same. How did the lockdown reflect on all of those dimensions for you?
Well, 100% from the perspective of I cannot go out. In Colombia is way more strict than in the Netherlands. So the only thing I needed to do was to get this as an extra push to involve all the international experts that we count on, you know, because our mission from the expert pool perspective is around knowledge, right? And access to knowledge via experts. So what we did is we wanted to be online anyways, because we were hosting regular events and meetups, you know, in Amsterdam. So this time was a perfect opportunity to say, well, let's go online and let's replicate what we are doing with all of our experts on a recurring basis every week. So that's what we started doing. It's going amazing, just organic efforts, just without paying anything. We're like adding a lot of value to our community and growing from there. You know, and the same inspiration, you know, like we had the same type of inspiration at Here to Start, because we promise we're going to do every year this big event to celebrate international entrepreneurship, you know, called the Here to Start Fest. And we said we have to do it. We have to do it online. So that's what we are actually going to do. And now it's even bigger than what we hosted in Amsterdam. So actually for me, the whole COVID-19 is just positive so far.
Well, it's nice to hear. And you mentioned that 7 days to go, I understand that your marketing business has moved from offline mainly to online. And was it a different, was it a difficult switch for the experts or for the entrepreneurs that you serve? What was the reaction? How fast you could do it?
I mean, first of all, the main benefit was reach. We could reach to way more people. We can just go beyond Amsterdam or what we were doing around the north, you know, of Netherlands. But at the same time, I think that, of course, you always miss face-to-face contact. You can't replace it. So, of course, that means me drinking more coffees and, you know, gathering around and being creative around the whole formats of what we host as events. So we're doing like coffee breaks with Maria, drinking coffee, and we want to, you know, during the Here to Start First, for example, we're also including like online business speed dating, and we just innovate in the ways that we can be more connected, but really aware that we need to, of course, go back as soon as possible to do this online and offline. So it's not like as soon as this is over, we go to offline and that's it. We would just continue doing both now that we opened that door and it's going good.
So it's going to be a combination of both worlds. And how are you going to do that? I think in the Netherlands, the regulations are a bit more relaxed. I think a lot of people are starting to meet. So how are you gonna do it from Colombia? Maybe you can tell the story of how you ended up in Colombia this time.
I can do it from Colombia thanks to the internet. That's it. The only thing I needed was connection. Here is 100% strict. It's not really allowed to go out unless you have specific permission to do it. You know, like it's a bigger country, it's a different culture. So people need to be more punished to make sure that something goes right and just don't do it, you know? So in Colombia, things are locked down like since mid-March. And I was actually about to go back to the Netherlands, and the same week that I was going back, they canceled my flight and they say, you stay in this side of the Atlantic, there's nothing you can do. So that's also about dealing uncertainty. This is something that we do all the time as entrepreneurs. And I'm used that situation can change, like boom, out of nowhere. So this is what happened to me. I was just going back to Amsterdam and suddenly I cannot go back to Amsterdam. And every time there's a delay of what's going to happen next time, you know? So I think that by the 1st of September, I can think about going back to the Netherlands. But on the meantime, I just enjoy what I have. Yeah, that's it.
Well, speaking of uncertainty that you mentioned for entrepreneurs, and that you don't know what happens next week and what happens next month, and that you actually can only start thinking about going back in September, which is probably the right time to go into the warm side of the world.
Yeah.
Can you tell a bit about your clients, so the entrepreneurs that you are helping? How are they dealing with the lockdown? Was it as positive as that for them as it was for you?
It's really about your personality, I think, you know, and your mindset. Because of course you can have any type of business, you can be in any stage of business, but it's about attitude. If you think that this is the end of the world, then this is going to be the end of the world. That's it. If you see an opportunity in this moment where so many things are moving and so many businesses are reinventing themselves, then this is the right time to be. I think the best time to be is now. And I see people that have been depressed, enthusiastic, all sorts of different types of entrepreneurs, that they just react. Is how you react as a human being to crisis. That's it, you know? So if you have uncertainty, which we normally have as internationals living abroad and dealing with all sorts of things on top of what locals do just to find one client, that's what happens extensively for everybody in the community. So I think that people just need to get the right tools and to be in the right community to feel that they are not alone in this, that they can relate to each other and help each other. Because of course it's human to feel weak or feel like, oh, I'm trapped in this house. I love the country, but I cannot go out for coffee. Of course this affects you, but it's more about dealing with it in a way that you can, of course, accept that it's not easy, but you can move forward from this, you know, and you can always find ways to get that little angle or find that really amazing friend or a fellow entrepreneur that can give you some insights on how she or he is dealing with this, which is basically the reason why you're doing this amazing interview. So yeah,
Well,
these
thank
type
you
of
very much.
spaces make a difference. Yeah.
And one thing I wanted to add or confirm, I guess, is that the Here to Start is what provided, I guess, over the last months, that support to fellow entrepreneurs. I'm trying to find synonyms now because I think we are going for a record saying the word entrepreneur now. Okay. Were there any special events that you set up as a community online? So not part of the business, but really for the community.
Actually, everything that we do is community-based. Even if people decide or not to hire one of our experts from 7 Days to Go or so, we are hosting regular events every Monday and Thursday via 7 Days to Go channels. Everything that is appealing or important for international entrepreneurs, we co-host it with Here to Start as 7 Days to Go, and we do the same with other different, players. So it's not like 7 Days to Go and Here to Start, but it's you name it, I'm Here to Start, because it's all about gathering people and being there for each other. So, and as you mentioned, the core of Here to Start is the community itself, and we just want to give access to people, not only to meet experts, but also to meet other, community members and understand where are they standing now. So that's the whole spirit of it.
That's a really nice, comforting feeling to know that there's something like that out there. And I'm sure that some people will look it up after watching this interview. So, do you know anything about your competition and how it is dealing with the lockdown and what challenges, maybe it's more prosperous, less prosperous? What do you know about it?
Well, I'm wearing two hats here. If I need to talk about consultancy agencies, there's a bunch of consultancy agencies. I think that people are more specialized in different sectors, while my approach as the expert pool is to basically give you all the range of different experts that they will serve to different types of purposes and even target groups, because we have our portfolio segmented within startups, starting entrepreneurs and scale-ups, so that's what we have with the expert pool. There's a lot of competition. The difference is that we are not a crowdsourced talent pool. No, we really know our community. We really have really strong relationship with our experts and our community. So we can really compete from the angle of knowing everybody by their name and handpicking the right experts to basically meet the entrepreneurs and their needs and interests. That's for 7 Days to Go. And for Here to Start, there's nothing that is working like this globally, especially in the Netherlands as our pilot country. When I look to all the initiatives that are happening, in Amsterdam, Rotterdam, the South, everything, I see that there's a lot of community leaders, but there was nothing or nobody doing the whole homework of mapping everything out, and saying, oh, this is what is happening. Let's give some exposure. Let's give visibility. Let's give a voice to internationals who are starting their business here. So I think that that's really our unique value proposition. Like, we gather, we show, with the idea of not only creating this community, strong community around it, but also with the intention of influencing on policy making, to make the whole thing that is a struggle for us way easier to land into a new ecosystem in a way that is more smooth in the end.
And since you mentioned the intention, the objective of the organization, I'd like to ask you, so what is the outlook on the next few months for that organization, for 7 Days to Go? So what is the future for you and your businesses?
Well, I think that is just moving forward with the organic growth of our community online. We're hosting events. When you do something consistently, you see the outcome. If you don't see it, change your plan, but you just need to do it, boom. So that's what we're doing with 7 Days to Go. I hope that by now, but some months from now, we understand better our audience by getting feedback with, direct feedback through the events that we host with our experts. And then this will end up into building a stronger community. We are mapping out the possibility of doing a really quite, accessible subscription, membership, so we can be more in touch with people and that our members can access directly to experts, not only through events, but also through one-on-one sessions. And yeah, so a lot of things are going to come up for 7 Days to Go in terms of content, access to experts, and, access to, in the end, knowledge that you'll need to succeed as a business owner. As for Here to Start, well, in 1st and 2nd of July, we're hosting this huge event that is called the Here to Start Fest. It's going to be 8 hours of program, finalizing with an online business speed date, an online party. We have for the first time Colombia as a guest country. So we're going to have some salsa playing and some dancing and some live performances from artists from all over the world. So in the end, we're really curious about what the outcome is going to be. If you just take a look at who is joining us as partners within the key, both environments, because this time we're not only showcasing key players in the Netherlands or what the Netherlands is doing, but also what Colombia is doing. And both, both countries are the perfect gateways for business landing, in Latin America and Europe. So in the end, what we want is to basically get all this together and see what comes out of it, in terms of synergies, business getting done, and our community, of course, growing not only from access to experts or top people within the ecosystems, but also access to entrepreneurs, to international entrepreneurs based around everywhere around the world, especially Colombia and the Netherlands.
That sounds really exciting. The event, I'm sure, will be a great success. I would love to be, I'm sure we'll talk about how we're gonna, get involved in that. And I hope that many people who are watching this video will be joining and will be signing up and will be registering for it, because 1st of July is just around the corner. So thank you very much, Maria, for sharing this insights, for sharing your view on business and entrepreneurship.
Yeah, thank you for everything. This space is amazing. I'm really happy that I can be here with you, sharing this and that, specifically in this exciting moment for us. And I, of course, invite everybody to join here to Start Fest on the 1st and 2nd of July. We have more than 1,400 hours of amazing content, live content, and access to all the people that is involved in entrepreneurship. I'm really happy to also, include a link with a special discount for all of you to join. The ticket is 10 euros for starting entrepreneurs, but trust me, I'm happy to give you 20% discount so everybody can join. And just let's do this together. I think that the power that we have as a community is amazing, and that's what we want to provide here. Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Maria. And thank you to everyone who joined us today. If you want to contact Maria, you can find her details in the text below the video. There will be also a link to the event where you can sign up. And I invite you to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to our channel. In the next few weeks, we're gonna have many more insights to share with you. So stay tuned and bye.